Imagine that you're sitting alone in a quiet room, staring at the ceiling and letting your mind wander. You think about all the things you've ever wanted to achieve. Or have you ever felt like you're stuck in a loop, spinning your wheels but never really moving forward? You set goals, big, audacious ones, the dreams that once burned brightly in your heart. Maybe it was writing a novel, running a marathon, mastering a skill, or building a business from scratch. You can still see glimpses of those aspirations, but they feel distant now, like faded photographs tucked away in an old album. And you imagine how incredible life would have been had you achieved them. But then reality hits. That days have passed, weeks blurred into months, and somehow, despite all your intentions, you find yourself back where you started. Sound familiar? It's not just about failing, it's deeper than that. It's the fear of looking back on your life years from now and realizing you stayed stuck in the same patterns, repeating the same mistakes, trapped by the inertia of comfort and complacency. What if the version of yourself you admire most, the one who seems fearless and accomplished, remains nothing more than a figment of your imagination? This tension, the gap between who you are today and who you long to become, is something we all face. And yet, here's the paradox. Despite our best intentions, so many of us struggle to bridge that gap. We set resolutions, make plans, and vow to change, only to find ourselves right back where we started. Why does this happen? Is it laziness? Lack of discipline? Or is there something else at play? What if I told you that becoming 10 times better at anything isn't about massive leaps or overnight transformations? What if the secret lies not in some Herculean effort, but in small, consistent actions repeated daily? And how these compound over time to either lift us up or hold us down. Today, we're diving into the science and psychology behind lasting change, inspired by James Clear's groundbreaking book, Atomic Habits. By the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to become 10 times better at whatever matters most to you. Not through drastic measures, but through tiny, consistent actions that add up to extraordinary results. So buckle up. This isn't just another self-help pep talk. This is a deep dive into what it truly takes to transform your life, one habit at a time. Let's get started. The myth of overnight success. We live in an era obsessed with instant gratification. Social media bombards us with stories of overnight successes who seem to achieve greatness without breaking a sweat. But here's the truth. Those overnight successes are almost always the result of years, sometimes decades, of hard work behind the scenes. Take Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. People saw his championships and accolades, but few realized he was waking up at 4 a.m. every day to practice before anyone else even thought about hitting the court. His success wasn't built on flashy plays, it was forged through relentless discipline and tiny improvements made consistently over time. This is the power of compounding habits. Just as money grows exponentially when invested wisely, so do our skills and abilities when nurtured through small daily actions. And that brings us to the first big idea. Small changes, big results. Imagine adjusting the trajectory of an airplane by just 3 degrees shortly after takeoff. If you kept flying in a straight line, you'd miss Los Angeles entirely and land closer to Tijuana instead. The same principle applies to our habits. Tiny changes may seem insignificant at first, but over time, they steer us toward vastly different outcomes. Let's break this down mathematically. If you improve by just 1% each day after a year, you'll be nearly 38 times better than when you started. Conversely, slipping into bad habits, even slightly, can compound against you. A 1% decline every day leaves you virtually nowhere after 365 days. Here's why this matters. Success isn't reserved for those who make dramatic changes. It belongs to those who show up consistently, even when progress feels slow or invisible. This is especially true during what James Clear calls the valley of disappointment. In the early stages of any endeavor, effort doesn't always translate into visible results. Most people quit here because they don't see immediate payoff. But stick with it, and you'll emerge on the other side stronger, smarter, and more capable than ever. Goals versus systems. Why systems win every time. Now let's talk about one of the biggest misconceptions holding people back: the obsession with goals. Goals are seductive because they give us something specific to aim for. Want to lose 20 pounds? Write a book? Run a marathon? Great! Set a goal and go for it. But here's the catch: goals alone won't get you there. Why? Because goals focus on the destination, while systems focus on the journey. And guess which one actually drives progress? Yep, the system. Think about it this way. Two people could share the exact same goal, to run a marathon, but only one succeeds. Why? Not because their goals were different, but because their systems were. One person trained consistently, followed a structured plan, and prioritized recovery. The other didn't. Goals also create an either-or mindset. Either you succeed gloriously or you fail miserably. Even worse, achieving a goal often leads to complacency. Once you cross the finish line, motivation fades and old habits creep back in. Instead of fixating on outcomes, shift your focus to building a system of atomic habits. These are small, manageable routines that stack up over time to produce remarkable results. They're called atomic because, like atoms, they're the fundamental building blocks of larger achievements. Identity-based habits. Who do you want to be? One of the most profound concepts in atomic habits is identity-based habit formation. Most people approach change from the outside in. They want to lose weight, write a novel, or learn a language. But lasting transformation starts from the inside out. It begins with deciding who you want to become. Ask yourself, what does the person I aspire to be do on a daily basis? If you want to be healthier, ask, what would a healthy person eat? If you dream of being a writer, consider, when does a writer write? Then act accordingly. Each action reinforces your new identity. Every time you choose salad over fries, you're proving to yourself that you're someone who prioritizes health. Every time you sit down to write, you're embodying the identity of a writer. Over time, these small wins solidify your self-image, making future good choices easier. Remember, true behavior change happens when your actions align with your beliefs. So stop asking, what should I achieve? Start asking, who do I want to become? The habit loop, how habits form and stick. To understand how to build better habits, we need to look under the hood at the mechanics of habit formation. All habits follow a four-step loop known as the habit loop. Cue, craving, response, reward. Cue, a trigger that tells your brain to initiate a behavior. Craving, the motivational force behind every habit. You don't crave brushing your teeth, you crave fresh breath. Response, the actual behavior or thought process you perform in response to the cue. Reward, the end goal of every habit. Rewards satisfy cravings and teach your brain whether this particular loop is worth remembering for the future. Understanding this loop allows you to hack your habits effectively. For example, if you want to break a bad habit, disrupt the cycle by removing the cue or altering the reward. To form a new habit, design a loop that makes the desired behavior irresistible. Let's dive deeper into each step and explore how to optimize them. Law number 1. Make it obvious. Most of your current habits are automatic. You do them without thinking. That's both a blessing and a curse. While positive habits operate seamlessly, Negative ones can sabotage your efforts without you realizing it. The first step to changing your habits is awareness. Try creating a habit scorecard. Write down everything you do from morning to night, categorizing each behavior as positive, negative, or neutral. Don't judge yourself, just observe. Awareness is the foundation of change. Next, use implementation intentions to clarify your desired habits. Instead of saying, "I'll exercise more," specify, "I'll do 10 push-ups at 7 a.m. in my living room." Clarity eliminates ambiguity and primes your brain for action. Another powerful tool is habit stacking. Pair a new habit with an existing one using this formula. After current habit, I will new habit. For instance, after I pour my coffee, I will meditate for 5 minutes. Finally, design your environment to support your goals. If you want to drink more water, place bottles around the house. If you want to read more, leave books in visible spots. Context shapes behavior. Make it work for you. Law number 2, make it attractive. Dopamine is the fuel that powers habit formation. When you anticipate a reward, dopamine spikes, driving you to take action. To form good habits, leverage this biological mechanism by making them appealing. One technique is temptation bundling. Combine something you should do with something you want to do. For example, listen to your favorite podcast while jogging, or enjoy a Netflix episode only while stretching. You can also harness social influence. Surround yourself with people who embody the behaviors you admire. Their norms will rub off on you, making your desired habits feel natural rather than forced. Lastly, reframe your mindset. Reframe chores as opportunities for growth. Instead of dreading laundry, think of it as a chance to practice mindfulness. Perspective shifts can turn drudgery into delight. Law number 3, make it easy. The easier a habit is to perform, the more likely you are to stick with it. Reduce friction wherever possible. Want to cook healthier meals? Prep ingredients ahead of time. Want to journal nightly? Keep your notebook next to your bed. Use the 2-minute rule. Scale down new habits until they require less than 2 minutes to complete. Instead of committing to read 20 pages, start with read 1 page. Once you begin, inertia often carries you further. Automation is another game changer. Set recurring reminders, automate payments for gym memberships, or create checklists to simplify decision-making. Less mental energy spent equals more bandwidth for execution. Law number 4, make it satisfying. Immediate rewards strengthen habits. Find ways to celebrate small wins along the way. Did you finish a workout? Treat yourself to a relaxing bath. Completed a task early? Enjoy a guilt-free scroll through social media. Tracking progress visually reinforces commitment. Whether it's marking X's on a calendar or filling jars with marbles, seeing tangible evidence of improvement boosts motivation. Lastly, embrace accountability. Share your goals with a friend or join a community focused on similar aspirations. Public commitments increase compliance and provide invaluable support. Tying it all together, your action plan. Becoming 10 times better at anything requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to embrace discomfort. Here's a quick recap of what we've covered. Focus on systems, not goals. Adopt identity-based habits to align actions with aspirations. Understand the habit loop and optimize each stage. Apply the 4 laws. Make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. Start small. Pick one area of your life where you want to improve and implement these principles. Remember, mastery isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Celebrate every step forward, no matter how tiny it seems. If you found value in this video, thank you for watching, and remember, the person you want to become is waiting for you, one habit at a time. Until next time, keep growing, keep improving, and keep believing in yourself. You've got this.
Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was insightful and educative. If you like this video, do well to click like, share, and subscribe for more insightful videos like this. See you later. Bye.